Charles Dickens, if I'm correct, was a biography or a memento on the life of Charles Dickens, written by himself. David Copperfield had an abusive father. His father died before he was born, and then he had an abusive stepfather. From the stepfather, he was trapped in this world of anarchy and constant trauma and fear. And from that, he found little pockets of faith in stories and worlds he got lost into. Those worlds which he held on to were a primary catalyst to his critical thinking and immaculate writing. So if one were to infer that he writes well and with such detailed emotion due to the fact that he suffered as a child, then I would not be the one to correct them, as that's likely correct. There is this pattern where people who suffer are the people who get the most from life. It's not really an example of that. There's metaphors of it, there's these deep maybes of it, but true suffering is of the mind. True suffering is this labor. It's labor. It's labor I wish I experienced. I wish I was forced to suffer, but the only suffering I am subjected to is the one I create in my mind. And the one I create in my mind is fantasemic. So one could call it a sense of masochism, but it doesn't feel good when you have everything at your footstep. It really doesn't. You don't have something to thrive for, you don't have something to work for. I could do nothing and I could still flourish. I could do nothing and I could still flourish. I could fail at everything and I could still flourish. The idea of that really sticks in my head. The fact that I could fail and still flourish. Really, I wish I was born poverty-stricken. I wish I was born suffering. I wish I was suffering, because a writer, I've said this before, said that consciousness is determined by a capacity for suffering. Consciousness, sentience, is determined by capacity for suffering. And true suffering is derived from these concepts created in your head, I think. I broke a calculator recently. It broke. I failed, but I still flourish. It really hits in my head. The fact that you failed, everyone still gets what you want. It seems like it can be some orgasmic level of insane proportion, but once you understand the fact that all your achievements are not really worth anything, really, it's the back of your head. The things I feel like I haven't worked for them. worked for them. I have not worked for a single thing. I haven't earned any of it. I just got it. And what do I do with it? Spend. I could create, I could obsess over the idea that everything's atoms and that everything matters. It's likely true as well. But in the atoms there are these movements of particles, such as me picking up this glass, such as me talking. Particles vibrate and hit the microphone. Particles are still at work, aren't they? And the particles that compose my body have not suffered enough. If I were to create a scenario of suffering for myself, maybe that would suffice. But why do I like fashion? I've asked myself that question before. Why do I like fashion? I mean, I haven't designed clothes in a while. I just like wearing them, and when I wear them, I do it for public spectacle. I want attention. Maybe I'm just doing it for the attention. Ignorance is bliss, though. Ignorance is the amenity that I wish I had received, excluding the others that have been bestowed upon me. Ignorance is such a powerful thing. Ignorance over something is so sweet and tender, not knowing about something. It's just beautiful. When you get that idea and you start to get those ideas in your head, when your mind starts to open and really eats you up like a fucking dog. And I am not one to be incorrect when I say that those ideas are what I'm trying to convey is that I need to suffer. And to the extent that I have opened my eyes, one needs to suffer to truly become something. I have only suffered in the situation I created for myself. Maybe me talking about this is me suffering, but I haven't been poverty stricken, I haven't been any of that. So I'm not able to think straight. I can't properly absorb my environment right now. I haven't been able to do that for a while. What do I mean by not being able to absorb my environment? Let's imagine the concept that I'm able to be completely aware and sentient of my presence in this room, and that this whole room is just a box. And me just being in that idea. I'm not able to do that anymore. I'm aware of it, but I need to have a clear mind. And when you have so many things shooting inside of you, then it's really hard to do. Well, everything could be a ploy for attention. Everything is a ploy for attention. That's what humans are made for. Why do we develop characteristics? Why do we develop personalities? It's all for attention of a mate to reproduce and die. What does the term depressing mean? The term depressing means in a state of melancholy. How is that significant? There's no significance in that. It's just a state of mind. Me right now, I mean, depressed would mean that I would be sad about something, but emptiness would also mean depression, that would mean numbness. I mean, I'm not sure anymore, honestly, because, you know, me talking about my problems right now, that's just showing how much of a soft person I am, you know, because when you're going through labor, you really don't have time to think about this. So, process. I met a person in a shop, donut shop. He said, right now you're sitting here, you're eating these donuts, you're sitting here talking about not worrying about stuff. You haven't gone through suffering that we've gone through. I wish I did. I really wish I did. Because if I did, then I would be able to justify my existence. I would be able to say, I've suffered and I'm standing up for it. But what have I suffered for? Am I living? What is the thing that I'm trying to prove? What and why? I've never been able to ask that question. It's all been about the money. It's not about how to spend it. Spending is fine, but about the status it gets you. About how it makes people respect you. I mean, if it's really all about that, then why does anything else even matter? Might as well just get married and live off dowry. The laptop, the computer I'm recording this on right now is $3,000. I didn't suffer for it at all. I didn't do any. I just asked it and I got it. And I burnt it 3 months after getting it. Am I really that ignorant? People will comfort me. They will say, "You're born like this. There's really nothing you can change." But I can run away and create problems for me. I could try and kill myself, I guess. And yeah, that would create lots of suffering. But really, that would just be problems which are created by me. It wouldn't be a direct problem. It wouldn't be something which I actually was forced to experience. That's sad, you know. Lots of people envy money. I envy suffering. Suffering really builds character. When you don't experience suffering, it's just really, it makes you a really bad person. I didn't do anything to deserve this computer. I didn't even get an A. I failed a subject after I got it. And you know, I can comfort myself. It would take 5 seconds for me to comfort myself. I could, but then that would remove the art of it. That would remove the art of suffering as a whole. It would remove the art of experiencing it. It would remove the art of it. You know, concerning myself. It's about facing it, and I'm facing it now. Not even being sure if it's going to do anything. What is the art of it? What do I mean by that? I don't even know what I mean by the art of it anymore. What is art? I wonder if that's a good question. What do I want to become when I grow up? I mean, I've told people that I always want to become an artist, but I'm really not sure anymore. The only suffering, the only true suffering I can admit to have experienced is the one in my own mind, and that is one I've created myself. So I don't count it as suffering. I mean, I might be suffering right now. I mean, I could be suffering right now, but I could change that in 5 seconds. Let's try it actually. I want to see the adverse effect and the great effect. 1, 2, done. I mean, I feel pretty free, but I have to return back to. I mean, I feel better. It's sort of like an ignorance, basically. Like I'm pushing those thoughts. I'm pushing that mentality away, but then I have to sort of switch back to it because that's the main thing. So, it's back. Maybe what I just did was for attention. Maybe it was different great. Maybe I was just doing it out of. Maybe I was just doing it so that people would see it and be impressed. Maybe even I'm not even sure anymore. Maybe everything I'm doing is just something which impresses people. Do I even know what I'm expressing with my fashion? I say that I want to make every single thing that I make really mean something. Does it? Does it really? Or is it just things I create in my head? Is it? I mean, could be. I could open my phone right now and I'm gonna see I received a message from an individual. I do that, my brain is suddenly gonna go back into this limbo mode of ignorance where my attention is gonna be diverted upon that person, directed to please the person. It's all a bubble. Everything's a bubble inside of a bubble. It's a bubble to trap yourself in. What I'm doing right now is a bubble I'm trapping myself in as well. It's not the truth. There's no such thing as the truth. You hide yourself behind these things. Everybody does. You hide yourself in the truth that you're atoms. When you say that you're hiding yourself in the truth, everything's atoms, and when you say that everything's atoms, it could in itself be a sort of different thing going on. You're trying to hide from something else. So it's an infinite bubble inside the bubble, so you really cannot escape it. And that is true suffering. When you're trapped in something bigger than your mind, you're trapped in this loophole, is it for attention? Does attention even matter? It's fucking irrelevant. I mean, it's still attention right now, I'm seeking attention right now. Am I seeking attention? I didn't enjoy this point. I want to document this change in perceptions in life. I didn't receive a message. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn desperate. I'm going to search for any messages. If I find a message, I'm going to conform to it. I just touch my hair to look good, and that's a trait which has been here since it's been an evolutionary trait. So dopamine. Time. It's 11:42. That's really concerning. I've had this dream of meeting a person who understands what I'm trying to say, who actually perceives it. Who perceives that sort of everything being atoms. Maybe what I'm saying isn't even true. Maybe it's just some random shit, some random stuff I'm saying, and that it's just stuff, and the truth is also irrelevant to me, and I'm ignorant of that. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance. If I were to say that this is the true me, that would be another action for attention. Fuck. Everything's for attention. It's exhausting.
आया दवाई लेनी है कोक ला दो एक गिलास
I'm going to spread my legs because it's easier to sit like that. Fucking Tommy Hilfiger. $100 charger. Calculator is getting shit done. Belt. I really wish I'd just talk about it when I sit in peace. Didn't even do anything. Eraser too. Need to turn the lights off. It's so fucking exhausting. Test paper which I got 8 out of 10 on somehow. It's the most comfortable I felt in weeks. Actually, no, it's not. I'm not really comfortable when my brain is free. Fear. I'm free. That is true fear. Somebody said. I want to sleep because the funny thing about everything is this thing, everything is this thing you create in your head. And when you learn about placebo effect, causal effect, everything, you really begin to wonder, what did you really do? What did you yourself do? What part of you is in you? Just this recollection of things which other people have scraped onto you. What is you? Me and this tryhard is trying to sort of become something he's not. It's really funny how that works. I'm imagining these sculptures in my head right now. Just like those children's toys, the hoops, stack on just like that, but they're cutting and screeching at each other, sort of. Yeah, there's sort of this big pile descending up to down, and they're sort of like split. In the middle, there's pieces missing each other. Yeah, it's like that. It's really fun to figure out. Yeah, it's really fun. But I am a fake artist, so is showing is different. I don't think that the computer can even hear me at this point. I can say that because I can barely see the microphone gauge thing moving. Did anything I say even get captured? Desperate for a message. But I really want to document this. Compare this with these multiple personas of creating. I mean, sometimes I think I'm the joyous person. I used to be the transgender dude. Then I used to be bisexual dude. Now I really have no clue what I want to be. They're all, everything's so relevant. I mean, why do it even matter, you know? You know what? Yeah. But when you talk to somebody about the relevance of everything, they just water it down. They sort of suppress that thought. They say, no, we matter. Everybody's their individual being, but they're not. They're really just these pieces of nothing. They're like this piece of an infinite, non-existent puzzle. Because it's infinite and non-existent. See, what is infinite? Infinite? How can infinite even exist? If something's infinite, it's there and not there at the same time because its existence isn't quantifiable. No? It's just thinking violent. Calling you mean. I think I used the wrong turn of words actually. Yeah, that was incorrect use of words. The things I wish I could say with this laptop, but I cannot because it's people watching it right now. And I've said enough already, but there's way more. Because I really wish I could say that, you know, I could do it through paintings. Maybe that's all the ways, but as I said before, I always had this urge to meet somebody who understood art like me. I think I understand art like that. I hope so. But I mean, nobody does. Could be that I'm just wrong about it, but the view of art is this sort of money. object, and this scribbles and they resonate against them. They see these things they don't recognize and they resonate against them, but they don't get the point that that's art in itself or something that you look at and it makes and it's so beguiling, it's so alien and it makes the person who's looking at it drop dead to the ground. And that's what it was created for. Express something, to express something new, to it could all be applied to get somebody around. Definitely. That would be a really sad option. I really think I need this. I think we mostly I'm live today. I'm not for this trip. जी जी